Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. Today I've got another unboxing for you. What we're going to do is unbox this. This is a Visconti pen, just a plain sleeve on it. We'll take a look inside that sleeve in a minute. We'll explore the pen, put some ink in it, and then do a writing sample. Followed by that, I'll give you my first impressions of it. So join me now down on the mat. Let's jump straight in. So welcome down to the mat. Here we've got that Visconti box. Nice plain wrapper. I do like when the wrapper is plain. We can see here that it's a Van Gogh 2011 portrait. We'll see the pen better in a second. But other than that, just a plain box. Let me slowly ease the wrapper off. And that reveals this. So here we have, I would think it's taken actually from the Van Gogh portrait. Looks quite nice, doesn't it? Nice and decorative on the box. It's a nice fancy looking box. Just going to turn it over. So we've got in silver, we've got the Visconti name and logo. Nothing on the bottom. Other side, Visconti logo again. And we've got the same on those other sides. Nice packaging, really looks nice. Feeling this, it feels like it's material. It doesn't feel paperish. So let's take off slowly this lid and we'll reveal what's inside. So the first thing we have is we've got a little booklet about Visconti. Let's just have a quick look through there. And here we've got details of some of the various models they do. It's one of my Grail pens. I'd love eventually to have a Homo sapiens. I like the Blue Lagoon one as well. There's Van Gogh. So, without spending a lot of time, nice little booklet there. Pop this to one side. We've got a bookmark here, Portrait Blue, which is what this pen is called. So it's Vincent van Gogh, oil on canvas in 1889. Turning it over, we've got the Visconti details at the bottom and at the top, Visconti logo. That then leaves us with this flat bed, and on there is the pen. I don't think this feels like it comes out, it feels like that's stuck in. So I'm going to slowly ease the pen out of the box. And I'm going to move the box to one side. Fetching my pen rest. There we go. And let's take this pen out of its protective wrapper. Just look at that. That looks so nice. I'm going to slowly turn this around so we can have a good look at it. So on the clip there, we've got the Visconti written there. But look at the colours of this. We've got blue, we've got turquoise. We've got some brown in there. It really does look like the colours are straight out of that painting. We've got bits of grey as well. Is that a bit of purple I can see as well? Not certain. It could just be where the blue and the grey are mixing. Absolutely gorgeous looking pen. Let's take a closer look. So at the top here, we've got, it's a silver coloured finial, and we've got there the Visconti logo, the V. We come straight down into the cap. The cap, it tapers until we get to about halfway down where the clip is. Then it seems to be straight all the way down to a metal band. The clip with that Visconti logo, really springy there, nice and springy. At the bottom here, I'll just turn this around so we can see it better. We've got there Van Gogh. And at the back, Visconti, Italy. It feels nice. It doesn't feel rough. Yes, you know that there is a little bit of roughness here around the middle of the band, but it doesn't feel like there's any big sharp jumps or anything like that. The bottom of this cap, it then gently tapers down to the body. The body, again, to my eye, it looks like it's straight until I would say just over 3/4 of the way down, and then it tapers down and we've got another silver end cap there. Really nice looking pen. Let's take off the cap. So slowly turning it. It just spins around. It doesn't actually come off like that. It pulls off and then snaps back on. So pulling the cap off, that reveals this, to be honest, small looking nib. This is a steel nib. It's not a gold nibbed pen. Let's take a closer look at the nib. So as I said, it looks small, number 5-ish size. Taking a look at the nib, we've got a nice little logo there. So that's coming down. We've got 3 dots, Visconti, and then underneath that, we've got B for broad. Simple nib, doesn't really matter what it looks like though. What matters is how it writes. From the nib, we come into the section. So it looks like we've got here, I think that's like an O-ring. It looks like it's black rubber. We've then got a step up into the main part of the section. I'm guessing this is where the cap clips on. In the section itself, it tapers down to a little tiny step, and then from there it tapers then up until we get to the body. Going to unscrew the body from the section. Inside, we've got a Visconti converter. There we go. This does come with a converter. It's metal fittings, so it's not an eyedropper quality pen. Just pop this back together. Oh, I like that. I don't know if that comes over on camera. When I get to virtually closed, it snaps with a magnet. Nice little touch, isn't it? Definitely a lovely looking pen. I'm just going to turn it around one more time. Absolutely gobsmacked by this. That's so pretty. It's so unusual. And it actually feels fairly light as well. Just going to swap over so we can do some size comparisons. So there we go. That's the Visconti in the middle. So the first 2 pens we're going to use. These are 2 standard pens that I try to use as much as possible. So we've got a Pilot Metropolitan and we've got a Lamy Safari. Now I use these pens because most people have either got or seen one or the other of them. So it's easiest to use that. So it gives you an idea of how big the pen I'm unboxing actually is. Let's take off the caps. So there's the Pilot. I like the sound that Visconti makes as well when I take the cap off. So uncapped, the Visconti is ever so slightly smaller than the Pilot. Now, one of the things I am noticing is if I look at the nibs, the Visconti nib also looks smaller than the Pilot. So that's something I may explore later on because I've got a number of pens with these smaller nibs. And it might be a comparison video I do in the future, comparing them and seeing how well they work. But yeah, that looks really nice. Just get rid of these 2. The next pen I'm going to fetch in is actually another Visconti. I'll pop it behind it. Let's get them lined up. This is a Visconti Breeze. And I've got to be honest, looking at this, I think the nibs are identical. The Breeze is a smaller pen. I'm just going to now move up so that I've lined up the bottom of the nibs. They're both broad nibs. I do like my broad nibbed pens. Let's pop the caps back on. I love that action. The Breeze, that's also got a magnetic clip. There we go. I can't line them up next to each other because the magnets are interfering. So line them up. Roughly the same length. So very much a similar pen. The big difference, the Breeze, 163 Australian dollars. The Van Gogh, 343 Australian dollars. More than double the price. I love the look of the Breeze. I think this though, compared to the Breeze, this looks so much nicer. We move the Breeze out of the way, pop this back in the middle. The next 2 pens, what I've tried to do is find pens of a similar price that I already have. Quite difficult because I don't have many pens of this price level. The first one I found is a Pilot Custom Heritage 92. This has got a gold nib. This was 270 Australian dollars, so cheaper than the Van Gogh. About the same size though. The next pen, this is the Leonardo Momento Zero Grande. I'm going to give you 2 prices for this pen. The first one is if I buy from Europe, then it's the equivalent of 380 Australian dollars. If I buy it in Australia, 480 Australian dollars. It's a lot bigger, isn't it? You know, this is a beast of a pen anyway. I'm not sure. I still think I prefer the looks of the Leonardo. I really do. But let's take the caps off and look at the nibs. I'm going to try and line the nibs up so that they've got the bottoms all there together. And then finally the pilot. Look at the difference between that Leonardo with its number 6 nib and, to be honest, both the other pens. The nibs look minute, don't they? The pilot nib, I actually think is slightly bigger than the Visconti one. Not a lot, but it's enough that by eye I can see that difference. I'm now going to step away from the desk. I'm going to clean out the pen. I always like to clean the pens out before I put ink in. When we come back, I'll show you the ink I've picked. We'll pop the ink in, do a writing sample, then I'll give you my first impressions. So here I am back. Let's take a look at the ink. So when I was looking at this, and I'm looking at all these gorgeous colours, I thought, well, we need a turquoisey or an aqua type ink. So I thought, well, we'll go for this one. It's by Diamine and it's Aqua Lagoon. I will be honest with you, I love the colour of this ink anyway. I think this will look quite nice. Yes, I know a lot of the blues in here are a lot lighter, but then when we look at some of the darker blues we get as we turn around the body, here's some nice examples. They are together coming out a bit closer to this. So I thought this is going to be an interesting combination. And with it having a broad nib, hopefully we'll see some character from the ink come out. Today's ink holder, Quickie Koala. So here we have Aqua Lagoon. Take that cap off. And let's open the pen. So the converter, that's all the way down to the bottom. In it goes to the bottle. And then I go up. Let's go down one more time. And then up again. So hopefully we get a really good fill out of that. Let's take a look. Yeah, we've got quite a nice amount of ink in there to play with. I'll just clean off the pen and pop it back together again. There's the pen back. And let's get rid of this ink bottle before Gary does his usual and ends up with ink everywhere. Okay, let's fetch in my notepad. So, as usual, I'm using Optic Paper by Oxford. This is in a black and red A5 notepad. I like this paper. It's nice, fountain pen friendly paper. It's a nice white colour and it really lets me to show off my inks. So, let's do some writing. We have here a Visconti Van Gogh portrait. What a long name. And as I've said a couple of times, it's got a broad nib on it. The ink, a Diamine. And it's Aqua Lagoon. Our drying times, immediate. 10 seconds. 30 seconds. Oh, almost dry there at 30 seconds. Belt and braces, a minute. After a minute, yeah, that's nice and dry. I'm going to reposition the microphone so that you can hear the pen writing. That's nice. There's a little bit of noise coming off it, but it's smooth. It's not glass smooth, and I've got to be honest, and I'm only working from memory here, I think it's less smooth than the Breeze, but that's fine. I mean, it's enjoyable, it's nice, it feels comfortable to write with. Let's look at line variation. So this is with no pressure. Now I'm going to add a little bit of pressure. So I am getting a slightly thicker line. If we do some S's, there we go. So we can see that coming out there. Flow, just to see what the flow's like. I know I could do some fast writing somewhere, but I find This is easier for me. You know, that's keeping up quite nicely. So what are my first impressions? Boy, does this pen look nice. I'm going to fetch it in again. I think this is a pen. You could just stare at it for hours, just slowly turning it around. I do like pens with little bits of character to it, and this has got characters by the bucketful. When I'm writing with this ink, here we are, we can see there's quite a bit of shading coming through. Now, I've not seen shading with this ink in other pens, but I can definitely see that here, you know, in the E there in blue, the G, part of the W, part of the D, part of that Z, part of that K. So it's quite interesting to write with. I'm seeing character coming through. I think this is a nice match in terms of the inker colour. Let me fetch that in so we can see that together. You know, it does pull out a lot of that main colour from the pen. The pen itself, when I'm writing, it feels alright unposted. You know, it's just about the right length for me. Will the pen post? Yes, it will. It doesn't make it feel back heavy. You know, it's just nice. And I'm not sure which I prefer. You know, it's a fairly light pen anyway. So that's something, as I do my longer term testing, I need to look at. Do I prefer it posted or unposted? All in all, I'm really pleased with this. It's really nice. I need to think to myself though, is it worth double the price of the Visconti Breeze? It definitely looks nicer. It's definitely a pen I'd be happy to show people. I don't know if I'd let them write with it though, that's the only thing. So I need to look at that and I need to investigate that a little bit more. I would have liked to have seen the nib, a number 6 nib. You know, when you're spending this sort of money, unless it's either a gold nib or a number 6 nib, it seems a bit stingy to me. So that's just my one real negative thing about this at the moment. But this is my first impression, and my first impression is, wow, gorgeous pen. So this was the Visconti Van Gogh Portrait with Diamine Aqua Lagoon. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Have you got any Visconti pens? Have you got any steel nibbed or gold nibbed ones? I'd really be interested in what you think of the Visconti brand. Please drop a comment down below. Let's kickstart the conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button every time someone likes, every time someone comments. Well, it just helps with the YouTube algorithm to put my video out so other people can find it. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.